These are fragments from the section of the Anathemata called Middle-sea and Lear-sea. Now north-east by north, now east by north, easting, south-southwest the weather quarter, by what slant of wind they brought her into the narrow sea. Pradine's cam-lass, that they'll call Mare Austrum, our Palassa, the lead telling 50 in the chops. Then was when the top-tree boy from his thalassa over their mare cried to his townie before the mast-tree, cries louder for across the weather to the man at the steer-tree. Pretani shore, Cassiterides, we've rounded their golden cornu. Albion's broom begins to thin away. They've made a landfall, yet they sight no Ictian bay, and must go a compass. West now her head, she stands scarce 6 points off the wind. And will that veer? But no, the Smiler draws more south to rejoice them, and further south, to east of south, as if the maiden herself were adjuvant. But as that backs, that strengthens, and for the dissipated broom, the squall mist and the rain. Close cowled in his masthead stall, the solitary cantor cups his numbed hand to say his versicle. Land afore the beam to starboard, 1 to 2 leagues. And as the ritual is, the respond is. Land before the beam, to starboard, 1 to 2 leagues. But from the drenched forecastle, the stifled murmur is what each heart's wry gloss reads. Rock ahead and shoal to lee, less nor half a goidled league. Is it then each brine throat chantes, we've made from Ilyssus all the way, matlows of the maiden, all the way, from Phaleron in the bay, matlows of the maiden, all the way be star and day, across the Mare over the Zay, to go to Dis in Lear-sea, matlows of the maiden, all for thalassocracy, all for thalassocracy. Maiden, help your own. Maiden, aid us. Themis, pray. Phoebe, Telphusa, pray. Agalastos, Petra, cleft for us. Paphia, remember us that are indentured to your mother, and us marines, remember us as belonged to your pandered lover. Sea-wise of Laconia, bid your Cytherea be mindful of her nativity. Ladies of Tyre and of the Phoenician littoral, pray the lady to have a native pity on this ship's company. Consider how many inboard along of us belong to her. In all the sunlands of our cradle sea, you many that are tutelar regard our anathemata. Pay our vows, Iberian ladies, to the Lady of Iberia, for making by her coasts toward this place. We did call her by her name, remind her. In the parts of Liguria, about Massilia, and at Corbulo on Liger, our last port of call. Implore the three mothers to recall what we have donated to all Gallia, almost all, letters most of all, nor least the love of our Ionian Artemis. Phocian huntress, pray for us, your sea-dogs hunted of the hungry sea. Vestals of Latium, if not yet taught of the fisherman, give us your suffrage, whose load is the sea star. You that shall spread your hands over the things offered, make memento of us. And where the gloss reads Jungit Manus, count us among his Argonauts, whose argosy you plead under the sign of the things you offer. Extend your hands, all you Orontes, for the iron dark shore is to our lee, over the lead dark sea, and schisted Acrinum looms in fairish visibility, and white-plumed riders shoreward go, and the birds declare it, that wing white and low, that also lured go. Go lured to the Torlands, where the tin veins maculate the fire rocks. The birds have a home in those rocks. A loosed hair for dog vein, marking the grain of the gale, awaiting with confidence her gale gift. Lamia waits at her sea gate within her land lair. Yet his scarfed stem furrows the hull's lair, the knee of the head of her ploughing the grinders, white the wash up over her flare, to where her straight sides tumble home. Over her top strake, green heads inboard rinse her floors, to brine her up to her risings. Oh, how he cons her, the old Pelasgian. It might be Mannanan himself, or the helmsman with the other Claves, the gladiatorial vicar of seas. He yet holds on. He's weathered Acrinum. Already he stands on toward Bolerion, drove of world wind, sun's obedient daughter, hove down of wind, wave's mother, pooped of billow, son of wave. Now he stands her in for the isthmus, bearing nor-nor-west, three-quarter west, shipping a sea, yet he rounds her too. Now are the eyes of her due toward her destined haven. Dew over the bow-wash, a sky-shaft brights the whited mole. Wind-hauled the grinders, white the darked bay's wide bowl, white echeloned daughters of the island mill, deploy from 20-fathom water to the inner shoal, spume blind into the skerry mill he bears on his port of call, distant 3 leagues and a quarter. Did he birth her, and to schedule by the hoar rock in the a drowned wood